everyone. In lecture first we had discussed what do we mean by integers, what do we mean by natural numbers and whole numbers. Here we will talk about positive integer, negative integer and neither negative nor positive integer. So let us try to understand first of all with the help of the number line. On number line how we have to represent the integers, that also we know from the standard 6th. Here these integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. All the integers are to the right side of 0. So we call them positive integers. These integers -1, -2, -3, -4, -5 and so on are to the left side of 0. We call them negative integers. So remember, an integer which is greater than 0, or we can say on the number line to the right side of 0, is known as positive integer. An integer which is to the left side of 0 on the number line, or an integer which is smaller than 0, we call that negative integer. So always remember, suppose we want to check whether 55 is positive or not. It is greater than 0, no doubt, so that's why it is positive integer, and on number line it is to the right side of 0 if we represent the integers in this way. So we will find this 55 somewhere in that direction. Similarly, negative integers means what? If I write here -27, so it is smaller than 0, we will call it is negative integer, and it is to the left side of 0 on the number line. So I hope there is no difficulty to identify the given integer whether positive or negative. Now let us come to this type of integer, neither negative nor positive. So from the definition of positive integers and negative integers, we are coming to this one more type of integer. What is that? Look at 0. All these are greater than 0. So we have identified that all they are positive integers, all these are negative integers. But look at 0, when we are looking at 0, it is integer, no doubt, we know. But if we think of its positivity, so to be positive, it must be greater than itself. But it is not so mathematically. 0 is equal to itself. So it is not greater than 0. So that's why it is not positive integer. It is not smaller than 0 also. So 0 is not smaller than 0. So that's why 0 is not a negative integer also. So we call neither negative nor positive integer. And what is that? That is 0. So always keep in mind which integer neither negative nor positive, that is 0. Now let us come to one more topic here, predecessor and successor of an integer. What do we mean by predecessor and what do we mean by successor of an integer? So from the early classes, in class 6 standard, 5th standard, 4th standard, from all those classes we know what do we mean by predecessor of a number and what is the successor of a number. Here we will talk about we will talk about integers. There we were talking about whole numbers and natural numbers. So if we come back to the 5th standard or 4th standard, if I write here 27 and if I ask you what is its predecessor, then it's very easy to say 1 less than 27 is what? That is 26. How we can find 1 less? Subtracting 1 from 27, we can get it is 26. So 26 is predecessor of 27. So remember, 1 less than the number is known as its predecessor, and successor means 1 more. For example, if I write here 27, then what is its successor? Just find, it's very easy. Add 1 to 27. 1 more means add 1. So it is 28. So successor of 27 is 28 and predecessor of 27 is 26. Similarly, the idea of predecessor and successor from the earlier class is same is here. If we look at -3 and we are interested in its predecessor, then how we have to find predecessor? By the definition of predecessor, it's very clear. Subtracting 1, we can get predecessor of the number. So subtract 1 from the -3, it is -4. How we have to subtract, how we have to add the integers, that also we know. Although we will discuss here, In brief, if we want to find its successor, then successor of minus 3 is minus 3 plus 1. Minus 3 plus 1 is minus 2. How it is minus 2? How it is minus 4? Although that had discussed, but again we will talk about either in this lecture or in the next lecture. Here also. So predecessor 1 less, successor 1 more. Whenever we are interested in predecessor of any positive integer or negative integer or any integer, doesn't matter whether positive or negative, just subtract 1 from the integer. Subtracting 1, whatever integer we are getting, that will be predecessor of the given integer. Adding 1 to the integer, whatever the integer we will get, that will be the successor of the integer. So it's very easy how we have to find predecessor, how we have to find a successor. If I want to ask you what is predecessor of 100, then subtract 1 from 100, it is 99. If we add 1 to 100, then we will get 101, it will be its successor. In this way, whatever number is given, subtracting 1 from the number, we can find its predecessor. Adding 1 to the number, we can find its successor. Comparison. Let us come to now comparison of integers. It's very easy. Again, let us come to the number line. With the help of number line, it's very easy to understand. Although all these type of topics we had discussed in 6th standard, but here is recap in your this 10th standard also. That's why we are discussing them. Okay. So here all these integers are greater than 0. So easily we can identify an integer to the right side of 0 is greater than 0, and an integer which is to the left side of 0 is smaller than 0. So all the comparison of all the integers with 0 is very easy. If it is positive integer, then it is greater than 0. If it is negative integer, it is less than 0. If we look at only positive integers, let me take 2 and 5. We can compare. Comparison of integers means what? Just to identify whether the given integers are equal or not. After that, we can identify which one is greater, which one is smaller. That is the different thing. So look at 2 and 5. Very obvious, 5 is greater than 2. So we have compared easily. So comparison of positive integers we know from the early classes. Here we will take, in one case one is positive integer, other is negative integer, and in another case we will take both the negative integers. But before taking one is positive, other is negative, or both are negative, let us talk about one more idea. See, look at this number line. If we take any two integers of positive integers, let us take 1 and 3. If we think 1 and 3 both are positive here, so on number line 3 is to the right side of 1. 3 is to the right side of 1, and we know 1 is smaller than 3, or 3 is greater than 1. Similarly, you can think of 2 and 5. 5 is to the right side of 2. Here 3 is to the right side of 1. So we can say an integer on number line, if is to the right side of the given integer, then the integer which is to the right side of the integer is greater, or the integer which is to the left side of the integer is smaller. So you can look at 1 and 4. 4 is to the right side of 1, so that's why 4 is greater. With the help of number line, we are discussing how we can identify which one is greater or which one is smaller. Now come to, if both the integers are negative, both the integers are positive, then how we have to compare? Then comparison theoretically we know. Here we have discussed with the help of number line also. Similarly, if we look at -4 and -1, so with the same idea, on the number line, which digit is to the right? So -1 is to the right side of -4. So that's why that is greater. If we look at another integer, -2 and -3, on number line again let us look. 2 is to the right side of minus 3. So that's why minus 2 is greater. Minus 2 is to the right side of minus 3 on the number line. So it is greater. So with the help of number line, we know how we have to identify whether the given integers are equal or not. Means how we have to compare the integers, that we know very easily. Okay, let us now talk about one positive and one negative. It's very easy. All the positive integers are greater than 0. All the negative integers are smaller than 0. So if we take any one negative integer minus 1 and another is equals 4, then always positive integer will be to the right side of the negative integer. So that's why the positive integer will be greater than the negative integer. So comparison of one is positive, other is negative is very easy. Always positive integer is greater than negative integer. One more thing from the idea of the comparison, we can say, see, in the previous class, means in standard 6, also we had discussed that how we have to find negative of a given integer. For example, if I write here 2, to the left side of 2, if there is no sign, then for our convenience, it is plus sign. Instead of writing plus 2, we write only 2. It will be considered as plus 2, it is positive 2. How we can find its negative? Change its sign only. It's plus sign, so make it minus. It is negative of 2. And what is negative of minus 2? It is plus 2. Similarly, what is negative of minus 5? It is 5. What is negative of 5? It is minus 5. So how we can find negative of any integer? That is very easy process. Here, let us talk about a fact. We know, look at this 2 and 5. We know 5 is greater than 2. 5 is greater than 2. Now write negative of 2. Its negative is minus 2 and its negative is minus 5. Looking at the number line, in minus 2 and minus 5, which integer is greater? Minus 2 is to the right side of minus 5. Minus 5 will be somewhere here. Is to the left side of minus 2. So that's why minus 2 is right side. So it will be greater. So if two positive integers we are taking and we are comparing them, and this sign of comparison we have used here, greater than. After that, if we are comparing their negatives, then sign has changed. It has become greater than, it was here less than. So 2 is less than 5, so minus 2 is greater than minus 5. So these were two positive integers that we have checked. If both are negative, let's take minus 7 and minus 10. So we know very easily minus 7 is greater than minus 10. Now find its negative. Negative of minus 7 is 7. Change its sign only. Negative of minus 10 is 10. Or opposite of minus 10 or opposite of minus 7. Look at 7 and 10 and compare them. Which one is greater or smaller? 10 is greater and 7 is smaller. So what are we looking here? The inequality sign or the sign of comparison has changed here. 7 is smaller than 10. So if two positive integers are there, we know their comparison. If we write their negatives or opposites, then also we know what is happening. Here also we have seen if both are negative, if we are writing their opposite or negatives, then what is happening? Now let us take one positive and one negative integer. See, it is 6 and it is minus 3. So very obviously 6 is greater than minus 3 because we know that every positive integer is greater than negative integer. Now write its negative and its negative is plus 3. Compare them. Now it has become positive and it is negative, and every positive integer is greater than negative integer, so that's why 3 is greater than minus 6. So always remember, if two integers are compared and if we compare their negatives, so always the number which is greater than its opposite will be smaller. In general, we can say if a is greater than b, then minus a is smaller than minus b. We can keep in mind it like this also. Let us come to now one more point, absolute value of an integer. Absolute value of an integer. How we have to find absolute value of an integer, and what do we mean by it? First of all, try to understand that. After that, it's very easy to find it. If we are thinking of absolute value of three, then always keep in mind whatever integer you are taking, if you are interested in its absolute value, then write its only the numerical value. Numerical value of 3 is 3 only, means without sign. What is it? It is 3. Although it is not without sign, if sign is not written, then it means it is positive. So plus 3. Absolute value of minus 2. So absolute value of minus 2 is 2. If sign is positive of an integer, then write the integer as it is, that is its absolute value. If sign is negative of an integer, then write the integer with the plus sign, that will be its absolute value. Absolute value of 0 is 0. So for this statement, absolute value of 3, we use some symbol. Drawing two vertical line segments. This is the sign of absolute value, and we write 3 here. So absolute value of 3 is 3. Absolute value of minus 2 is 2. Absolute value of 0 is 0. That also was in 6th standard. We had discussed here. We are not going any type of detail of this topic here. So absolute value of 3 is 3. Absolute value of minus 2 is 2. Absolute value of 0 is 0. So this is the symbol which we are using instead of this statement. Although we will read it like this, we will not write it like this. Absolute value of 3, and symbolically we will write like this. If I say that find absolute value of minus 6, or I say find, meaning is same of both the statements. Instead of this sentence, we are using here symbol. So what will we read it? Absolute value of minus 6. So absolute value of minus 6 is equal to 6. So always remember, absolute value of any integer will never be smaller than the integer. Means what? If I take minus 5 spots, then its absolute value will be 5. If I take minus 3, its absolute value will be 3. If I take 4, its absolute value will be 4. If I take 0, then its absolute value will be 0. So absolute value of any integer is always greater than 0 or equal to 0. Never it will be less than 0. So keep in mind, absolute value is always either equal to 0 or greater than 0, and it will not be smaller than the given integer. See, if you look at the 4, then its absolute value is 4. That is not smaller than 4. Absolute value of minus 7, it is 7. It is not less than minus 7. Absolute value of 10 is 10. It is not less than 10. It is equal to 10. Absolute value of 0 is 0. So always keep in mind absolute value of any integer either it will be equal to the integer or will be greater than the integer. So keep in mind. Now some of the rules which we have to keep in mind when we are adding or subtracting the integers. Although we have discussed that also, but you can keep in mind them discussing in this particular standard also. If outside bracket is plus and inside bracket is plus and this is some number or integer if you are talking here, then if we are opening the bracket and outside is plus sign, inside is also the plus sign, then it will be plus c. If outside is plus sign, inside is minus sign, then plus minus will become minus c. If outside is minus, inside is plus, then also it will become minus. If outside is minus, inside is also minus, then it will become plus. For example, let us look at an example for this. If I write here 5, so if we want to open the bracket or we want to remove the bracket, then it will be plus 5. Similarly, outside is plus sign, if I write here minus 6, then plus minus will become minus and it is minus 6. It is, suppose here is minus and suppose I write here 7, then inside bracket is plus sign, outside bracket is minus 7, minus sign, then minus plus will become minus. Here if I write minus and minus 10, then outside bracket minus sign, inside bracket is minus sign, so it will become plus. So it is plus 10. So always keep in mind whenever you are opening a bracket, if inside the bracket and outside the bracket, if signs are opposite, one is plus, other is minus, then it will become minus, and if both are same, then it will become plus. See, here outside the bracket and inside the bracket signs are plus, means same, so that's why it has become plus. Here also outside the bracket, inside the bracket signs are same, so that's why it also has become plus. But in these two cases, both the signs are opposite, so that's why that has become negative. Plus minus minus, minus plus minus, minus minus plus, plus plus plus. So keep that in also mind whenever we will add any two or more than two integers or subtract any two integers, that time we will use it. Or suppose we want to remove that type of bracket, that also it will be used. Now let us talk about addition of integers. It is very easy how we have to add any two integers. See, if I take any two integers 5 and 7 and suppose we want to add them, so 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. Another two integers 2 plus 7 or 2 plus 8 is equal to 10. So what is sign of 7 here? It is plus, and what is sign of 5 here? Sign of any integer always will be to its left side. What is sign of 5 is here? No sign, it means it is plus 5. No sign of 2 is here, it means it is plus 2. So how we have to add any two positive integers, that we know from the early classes. Here if both are positive, both are negative, anyone is positive, other is negative, then how we have to do? That we have to keep in mind. See, always remember, whenever two integers are added, for example, plus 5 and plus 7. So if signs are same of both the integers, if signs are same, whether they are positive or whether they are negative, doesn't matter. Always they will be added. Means add their absolute values. What is absolute value of 5 is 5. What is absolute value of 7 is 7. 5 plus 7 is 12. Now what will be the sign of their sum? Whatever sign of the integers, that will be the sign of the sum. Sign of the integers is plus, so that's why sign of their sum will be plus. It will be plus 12. No need to write plus. Here similarly, it is plus 2, it is plus add. Both the integers are of same sign, so that's why they will be, their absolute value will be added. Absolute value of 2 is 2, absolute value of 8 is 8. So their addition will be 10, and whatever sign of the integers, that will be sign of the sum. So their sign is plus, so that's why sign of their addition or sum also will be plus. If we take any two integers, one of them is negative, other is also negative, for example. So first of all, we have to learn to open the bracket. See, whenever we are opening the bracket, we have to keep in mind the information which I had discussed before this. See, if you want to open this bracket, so outside the bracket, what sign is here? If no sign is there, then consider it as plus. So it is plus always. So it is plus, it is minus. Plus minus will become minus. And write this. Outside bracket sign is plus, it is minus. Plus minus is minus. Now we have removed the bracket. So first of all, remove the bracket. Now let us look at the idea which I discussed in this case. If both the integers are having same sign, then always we will find first of all addition of their absolute values. What is absolute value of minus 3? It is 3. What is absolute value of minus 7? It is 7. And add them, it is 10. Means add them. So after adding them, we are getting 10, and whatever sign of the integers, that will be sign of their sum. What is sign of the integers? It is minus, so that's why sign of their sum also will be minus 10. Let us take another example. If I take here minus 15, and if you want to add, so that's why plus sign, here minus 13. So first of all, let us remove the bracket. Outside bracket, what sign is here? Plus. Inside is what? Minus. Outside and inside, if signs are opposite, then it will be minus. Minus 15. What is here? Plus. It is minus. Plus minus minus. It is 30. Both the integers are having same sign, so that's why we will add their absolute values. What is absolute value of minus 15? 15. What is absolute value of minus 13? 13. Means if we add 15 and 13, then we will get it is 28. And what is sign of the integers? Of both the integers, that is the minus sign. So sign will be the same. Similarly, as we had discussed here, whatever sign of both the integers, that will be sign of their sum if both the integers are of the same sign. So here both the integers are of same sign, so that's why we have done it like this. So keep in mind. So if both the integers are having same sign, then how we have to operate these two operations, plus or minus, whatever. But when signs are opposite, one is positive, other is negative, then how we have to do? That is also very easy. See, if I take minus 5 and here plus 2, we want to add them. So outside bracket, what sign is here? Plus. Plus minus minus 5. It is plus 2 already, no bracket. If you want to simplify it, then their simplification is very easy. If both the integers are of opposite sign, then find difference of their absolute values. What is absolute value of minus 5? It is 5. What is absolute value of plus 2? It is 2. What is their difference? Means 5 minus 2 is 3. So write 3 here. Now we have to decide its sign. In these two numbers, 5 and 2, which is greater? 5 is greater. And what is sign with 5? That is minus. That will be sign of this. That is minus. So always keep in mind, whenever we are having two integers, one is of plus sign, other is of minus sign, then always first of all we will write here difference of their absolute values. After that we will decide their sign. So whatever the absolute value is greater, whatever the sign of the corresponding integer, that will be sign of this. Here 5 is the greater than 2, and what is sign of 5? That is minus, that is here. Let's take another example. if it is minus at plus 10. So first of all, let us remove the bracket. Outside bracket, what sign is there? Plus is minus. So plus minus will become minus. It is plus 10. Bracket we have removed here. So look at the integers. Both are of the opposite signs. So that's why we will find their difference of their absolute values. What is the difference? As we know, absolute value of 10 is 10, absolute value of minus at is at. So what is the difference of 10 and at? It is 2 that we have written. Now we will decide its sign. So absolute value of minus at is at, absolute value of plus 10 is 10. Which integer is greater here? 10 is greater here. What is sign of 10 here? That is plus. So that will be the sign of this. So sign of this is plus. No need to write plus. If no sign is written, then it is understood there is plus sign. For today, that's all.